Okay, good morning, everyone. So today we're not gonna do any speaking enhancement lecture, but rather we're gonna do something more grammar related. Actually, this is an accumulation of all the grammar lectures that you're gonna have at 9.09. But yes, we're gonna talk about the summary today because I believe nag-coaching ako ng ilan, tatlo lang last Wednesday. And yung pinaka napansin kong problematic area in your English is actually grammar. All right. So we're going to begin with the summarization of all the grammar lectures at 9.09er. And then probably next week, we're going to start with grammar 1, 2, 3. I think hanggang 5 ang available. Pero yeah, grammar 3 is the most important one that you have to attend. However, I cut that into two different lectures kasi sobrang time consuming ng grammar 3. It talks about grammar tenses, verb tenses, wherein lahat kayo, I know, dun kayo sa area na yun nalilito. Anong tense ba yung gagamitin ko sa specific situation na to? I'm talking about the past. I'm talking about the present continuous. I'm talking about future tenses. So, ano nga ba yung gagamitin mong tenses in that case? So, abangan nyo yung grammar 3 kasi that's a really important lecture that you have to look forward to and you have to attend, of course, okay? Is my voice loud enough? I'm not gonna use a mic anymore. All right. So, in today's lecture, we're going to cover pronouns, articles, quantifiers, verb tenses, sentence structures, ano yung mga common areas na nagkakamali, and prepositions. Sino sa mga na-coaching ko na ang sinabi ko yung problematic area natin, verb tenses, prepositions? Okay, you don't have to raise your hand, but yun talaga yung problematic areas, right? Also, yung paggamit ng articles, ang gagamitin ko ba a or the? An or a? Di ba? Nalilito pa tayo sa ganon. So, this lecture is highly efficient, especially in your speaking and in writing. Okay? Kasi minsan, nag-hesitate tayong i-express yung sarili natin because we're so conscious about our grammar. We're so conscious about making mistakes in grammar, right? So these are the key areas that we're going to discuss today. If you want, you could bring out some notes, paper, pens, in order for you to keep up. Kasi once you try to take down notes or try to make your own sample sentences, the tendency is there's better retention. When we say retention, we're talking about how well you can remember the lessons that we've been having, okay? All right, so we're going to talk about pronouns first. Okay. Before anything else, para hindi mo na kayo ma-distract, when we say pronouns, how can we define it? I know it's so elementary, napag-aralan nyo na din to before, but really, what's the use of pronouns in grammar, in English grammar? It's to replace the subject or the main noun in a sentence. All right? Kasi isa sa mga kailangan nating iwasan when it comes to writing is repetition. All right? Ano nga naman gamitin mo yung word na the population, the number of, ng paulit-ulit. Okay, so that's why we're gonna learn about pronouns in order for you to be able to be more versatile in constructing sentences. Also in speaking, all right, if you're pertaining to, let's say, talk about a close family member, all right, it would sound so weird if you keep saying the name of the person. Shannon is an awesome friend. She's actually mas maganda pakinggan, lagyan mo ng pronoun she. She's actually gorgeous. Huy, gorgeous. Hindi. What I mean is, example lang yan, alright? But if you keep saying, Shannon is a close colleague of mine. I've met Shannon at our office. Shannon is in her 30s right now. Diba? It sounds weird. Unlike if you use pronouns, it would sound more cohesive. It would sound more competitive, right? So that's the use of pronouns, and it's really important for you to know how to use pronouns correctly, all right? So we're going to start with the relative pronouns because this is actually the part wherein most of you make mistakes on. All right? All right. So, incorrect use of relative pronouns. So we have a list of subject, object, and possessive. Let's talk about it one by one. The pronoun who, which, that are used in subjective form. When we say subjective, ibig sabihin nun, the sentence, it's used as the main noun. It's a replacement for the main noun of a sentence. Okay, for example, Anthony is walking down the aisle. So Anthony, who is the groom, is walking down the aisle. Do you see? We use the relative pronoun who to pertain to Anthony, which is the subject of the sentence. You get it? Later, I will be adding more sentences on the screen, but for now, yun na muna. Kaya nyo naman i-absorb, right? Medyo fresh pa yung utak natin in the morning. Okay, how about the word which? When it comes to who, whom, and whose, these are all pertaining to people only, okay? Who, whom, whose. We're pertaining to a person, whether he, she, they, okay? But when it comes to the pronoun which and that, they're pertaining to objects or things in a sentence. However, the pronoun that can either pertain to a person or an object, okay? A subject or an object. So versatile say that. Pero si who, whom, tsaka whose, particularly for human beings, for people. Okay? So for clarity, let me put some examples here. Anna who loves flowers dropped by the flower shop this morning. So, ang ginamit nating relative pronoun ay who. And we are pertaining to the subject who is Anna. Okay? Now, if we are to use the relative pronoun which, the car which is parked outside our house belongs to Mark. Can you see? The subject is car and the relative pronoun is which. Kaya siya tinawag na relative pronoun because it relates to the subject in the sentence. All right? Or the object. All right, so ngayon naman, let's say his name is Ben. Ben Okay, bakit hindi ang ginamit natin who? Because in this case, kaya siya nakalagay dito possessive. Nakita niyo yan? Possessive. Under possessive whose. When we say possessive, it pertains to possession or ownership. Okay? So, kanino bang asawa yung nasa ospital? Kay Ben. Alright? That's why we use the pronoun whose. Okay? Alright. Do you see the difference between the three? Okay, good. Okay. We use who and whom for people and which for things. Use that for people or things. Alright. So ngayon, para hindi kayo masyadong malito, ibubukod natin yung that. The old lady that passed by is my grandma. Okay. Which relative pronoun did we use? That. And the relative pronoun that pertains to the old lady. Is an old lady a human or an object? It's human, right? So, versatile si that. So, gamitan naman natin ng isa pang example. The repair shop that just closed was my uncle's. Pero may slight difference sa paggamit ng that. Kung mapapansin nyo, no comma needed. Right? Tuloy-tuloy lang si sentence. The old lady that passed by is my grandma. The repair shop that just closed was my uncle's. Yung mga sentences kanina, kung mapapansin nyo, may comma after the noun and after. Kasi this is a relative phrase. Okay? Kaya nakakalito siya gamitin. Because may mga commas pa. Napaka-crucial ng paggamit ng commas sa writing. So, bakit namin to tinuturo? Para may options kayo. At saka, nakakapagpahaba din siya ng sentences. So, additional words. See? Pero if you feel like you're not competitive in your grammar, and you feel like it might cause some errors in your writing, refrain from using this format. Okay? But if you feel like, matatandaan ko tong lesson ni ma'am, kasi ang galing niya magturo. I mean, joke lang yun, guys. So, go! Pwede naman. Gamitin nyo yung format na yan. Yung sentence structure na yan. But then again, kung magkakamali lang din sa comma, kung malilito lang din kung saan i-place yung comma, pwede namang gawin nating normal si sentence, okay? Anna dropped by the flower shop this morning, comma, because she loves flowers. Isang comma lang yung kailangan yung tandaan, which is an easier format. Pero I'm telling you, this is gonna get you better points. Kasi, complex structure to. Unlike to, basic structure lang ang sentence. You get the difference? Okay. So, yung isang example. The car which is parked outside our house belongs to Mark. How are we gonna simplify the sentence? Tanggalin mo lang to. The car parked outside our house belongs to Mark. Pwede naman wala si relative pronoun, di ba? So, kailangan pa ba natin siya sa life natin? Kailangan din naman. Pero yun nga, may mga simpler options tayo. Ben's wife is at the hospital, so he is paranoid right now. Ayan yung ibang structure. Isa lang ulit yung comma gagamitin mo, pero syempre, make sure that the conjunction that you're using is used correctly, is the correct conjunction. Ben's wife is at the hospital, so he is paranoid right now. Okay? Any questions about relative pronouns? Okay, if none, then let's move on to the next slide. I'm gonna make this lecture quick para may time tayong mag-coaching later sa mga hindi pa nakapagpa-coach. I believe, would you like to have a coaching session later? How about you? Why not? Okay. And if you have not attended speaking, it's okay. A speaking enhancement major lecture, yes, it's okay na wag mo nang magpa-coaching. It's much better kung nakapag-replay ka ng lecture muna or naka-attend ng lecture na yon. Okay? Okay. Now let's focus on more sentence examples using the relative pronoun whose. Again, we use the relative pronoun whose when we're pertaining to possession, right? Mark's son. Hey, Mark's son, whose toys are scattered in their backyard, suffered a minor injury upon stumbling on his toys. Okay? So we're pertaining to Mark's son. And we use the relative pronoun whose. Okay? The old lady whose signature bag got stolen is now at the police station. Again, we're expressing ownership. The signature bag belonged to the old lady. The old lady whose signature bag got stolen is now at the police station. Okay. Let's try application. Let's make a sentence using these relative pronouns. Okay? Let's start with the pronoun who. Sige, magsulat kayo ng sentences right now. Don't use any AI or Google right now. I just want you to try to make your own sentences, okay? Okay. Again, remember, subject, comma, the relative pronoun phrase, comma, and then the predicate. Ganun yung format natin, okay? Sige, try natin. Subject, comma, plus relative pronoun phrase, and then comma, plus predicate. So your sentences must be something like this. Anna, who loves balloons, requested for a hot air balloon themed party. Dapat may ganito siya. All right. See subject. Of course, don't forget the comma, the relative pronoun phrase, and another comma followed by the predicate or kung ano yung nangyari sa sentence or sa subject. Okay? Okay, anyone who wants to flex. Let's see, who wants to flex their sentences? I mean, okay lang yan. If ever you have any grammar mistakes, we're gonna correct them on the spot. Okay, how about you, Melissa?
Very simple.
Okay.
Roselle is my sister, borrow my car.
Roselle, who is my sister, borrowed my car. Okay, that's correct. Feel ko si Noel meron.
Kailangan ba borrow? May,
Yeah, borrowed. Roselle, who borrowed my car, is my sister. Yun ba yung sentence? Okay. Kasi kung iibahin mo yung tense ng verb, pwedeng who is about to borrow my car, ibig sabihin in the future. Future tense pa lang yun, who is about to borrow my car. Pero kasi, nahiram na pala niya sa'yo. So, borrowed. Okay? Yes, Noel, what's your sentence sample? Go, sabihin mo na lang. Go lang.
Can you something for this?
Again, please. Kenji, who
Something for this.
is happy for his wife, is my friend. Okay, this is correct. However, I think if you're going to describe Kenji to someone you've never met before, I think you would like to change this description. Okay? For example, you're talking to me and I don't know Kenji. Kenji, who is wearing a pink shirt, is my friend. Medyo mas logistically correct, okay? Pero kasi yung sentence mo, pwedeng kilala na ng kausap mo si Kenji. Okay? Or nasa event kayo, ganun, okay? All right, anybody else who would like to share their sentence samples? All right. Same format but different relative pronoun. Yung relative pronoun naman na which. Which. Okay? Again, which is used when we're pertaining to things. For example, again, the review center which I enrolled at, is 9.09er English Cabanatuan. Pwede rin namang simplify natin yung format. Mm-mm. She bought a dress which had a polka dot design. Pwede rin naman ganyan yung format. Gusto ko lang makita kung tama yung paggamit yun ng relative pronoun if it's pertaining to a thing rather than a person. Okay? So, pwedeng yung format kanina, which is subject, comma, relative pronoun phrase, comma, and predicate. Or pwede rin namang predicate and then relative pronoun. I mean, this is not a predicate. This is a complete thought. She bought a dress. Dinagdagan lang yan ng details. Okay? Kasi meron tayong subject, meron din tayong predicate. So this is what you call an independent clause or a complete sentence already. Pero dinagdagan natin siya ng dependent clause which had a polka dot design. Which means, pag sinabi natin dependent clause, the sentence is not complete. It doesn't have a complete thought yet. Walang subject, di ba? Which had a polka dot design. Pero ito, it can stand on its own. She bought a dress. Pwedeng doon na matapos yung sentence. Eh gusto ko kasing duktungan. Gusto kong maging particular. What kind of dress did she buy? It's a polka dot design dress. Okay? Okay, sentences. Sige, gawa kayo. Even if you're making mistakes, at least I can see that you're doing something to retain this lesson. Kasi for sure, after tong mahabang lecture na to, at matatandaan niyo pa ba to? No. But if you're making sample sentences right now, somehow tatatak yan sa brains. Sa brains. Okay. Pwede rin naman. Nawala, guys. Ulitin natin. So, yung sentence kanina, she bought a dress which had... Ano ba? Pwede rin naman gamitin. Okay. These two sentences are both considered correct. Okay, anybody else who would like to share their sentences? How about Zoom members or Zoom participants? Last year, I used to have very active Zoom participants. Kahit nasa trabaho or kahit nasa bahay lang, they would actively throw their sentences in our Zoom chats. So, asan na kaya yung mga yun? Actually, nakapag-exam na sila. Pero sana yung mga nanonood ngayon or who are with us live can actually participate. Huwag kayong mag-hesitate or ma-intimidate kung mali man sa tingin nyo yung sagot nyo, okay? Because definitely, anong nangyari, guys? Okay. Sige, ikaw na lang ulit, Noel. Give me your example sentence. Kaya mo yan! Again, please.
The car we had used yesterday is my personal car.
Okay, that's correct. The car which I used yesterday is my personal vehicle. Para lang hindi pa ulit-ulit si car, pwede namang vehicle, pwede rin namang automobile. Automobile. Okay. Para maiwasan natin yung repetition. Alice took a test which she prepared for 6 months. Which she prepared for 6 months. Okay, thank you so much, Ethel. Alright, so move on na tayo sa next slide. Buti naman, hindi ako natawag, sabi nung ilan dito. Just kidding. Alright. Now we're gonna talk about indefinite pronouns. Kaya siya tinawag na indefinite. Do you remember last Wednesday we talked about prefixes and suffixes? When we add the prefix in to the word definite, it makes it opposite. Okay? So pag sinabi nating definite, ibig sabihin, meron tayong particular na tinutukoy na object or subject in replacement. So, dito naman sa indefinite, walang tinutukoy. It could be anyone. Kaya nga, somebody. Di ba? Hindi to particular, hindi to specific. Somebody. Okay? I saw cake on my table. I think somebody left it there. But I don't know who that somebody is. Kaya nga ginamit ko somebody. If I knew who that person was, the one who left cake on my table, then probably I'd say, I think he's my student from the review center. Okay? So these are indefinite pronouns because we use them in replacement to the subjects or nouns in a sentence na hindi natin alam specifically kung sino. Like anybody, nobody, everybody, anyone, no one, everyone, anything, nothing, everything. As you can see, the ones that end in body and one pertain to people, and the ones that are ending in thing pertain to things or objects. Okay. A very important rule when using indefinite pronouns is that you have to make sure that you use a singular verb after that indefinite pronoun, okay? Okay, so the tricky part is, how do we know if the verb is in singular form? Magkaiba yung rule sa verb tsaka sa noun pagdating sa plural tsaka singular, di ba? You remember that basic rule? When a noun is singular, like book, singular to kasi walang S. Ibig sabihin, one book only. Alright? But if we make it plural, we add S. It means more than one. Okay? Girl, girls. Pero applicable ba to sa lahat ng nouns in sentences? Na pag gusto mong gawing plural, lalagyan mo lang ng S? No. It's not applicable. It's only applicable to regular nouns. These are regular nouns. Kung saan, hindi mo na kailangang baguhin yung spelling, dadagdagan mo lang ng S, magiging plural na siya. But we do have irregular nouns, such as child pag isa, Children, pag more than one. Right? Woman, pag isa, womans. Charis. O, di ba? Nagising kayo ng konti. Women, pag madami. Right? Same goes with men. Men. Ano pa yung mga irregular nouns? Meron din naman tayong mga nouns na they already end in S. But doesn't mean na magbabago siya ever. Kasi singular, plural, physics is physics. Sorry, kulang na S. Or mathematics. Hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin, I study mathematics today. Okay? Of course, the word mathematics always has an S. Mathematics. Okay? Ngayon naman, pagdating sa verbs, it's the opposite rule. When you have a singular noun, what you use is the singular form of the verb. However, the singular form of the verb has an S. Okay? The girl loves kimchi. The girl, singular, plural. Singular. Loves, singular, plural. Plural. Plural? Hindi. Singular to, guys. O, di ba? Pati ako nalito na. Kasi sabi ko lang kanina, pagdating sa verb, pag may S, yun yung singular. Okay? Pero kailangan mag-a-agree. Kaya nga, we have what you call subject-verb agreement. Si subject, kailangan mag-agree kay verb. So, kung singular si subject, singular din dapat si verb. The girl loves kimchi. Ngayon, kung babaguhin natin the girls, magiging plural na ngayon kasi more than one si girl eh. Okay? So, tatanggalin na natin ngayon yung S sa love. Sa loves. So, ginawa namang subject yung loves. Okay, so, the girls love kimchi. So now, subject-verb agreement kasi plural si girls, plural din si verb na love. Okay? More examples. The students the students mm, okay, sige, check natin. Binago ko yung format. Okay, si students ay plural. Ang gagamitin ba natin was or were? Ang was ay singular, were ay plural. Again, students is plural. So, ang gagamitin natin, si were, kasi si were is plural. Students were accumulating too many hours in the lab. Okay, next example. Okay. The pupils is or are persistent in passing their IELTS exams. So the correct subject verb agreement is are. All right. The pupils are persistent in passing their IELTS exams. Okay, now let's go back to our topic. Our main topic is indefinite pronouns. Okay. Again, ang pinaka-importanting rule sa indefinite pronoun, you use singular verb after an indefinite pronoun. So, everyone, maipilit talaga eh. Okay. Okay, so which verb is correct? What's the rule earlier that I said? Pag verb ang plural, nawawala yung S. Pag verb ay singular, may S. Eh, ang rule, use a singular verb after an indefinite pronoun. Our indefinite pronoun in the sentence is the word everyone. So which one do you use? Like or likes? There you go. Kaya ako in-explain kanina yung basic para mag-gets nyo dito. Okay? Everyone likes Coach Shannon. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's use nobody. Okay. Ito, madali na lang to. Alam niyo kung alin yung singular dyan, tsaka kung alin yung plural na verb, right? Nobody is or are responsible for the deficit in today's sales. Parang nalilito na naman kayo, guys. Parang nalilito na naman yung mga facial expressions. Yes, what's your name? Mariella. Okay, nice to meet you, Mariella. And your answer is correct. Nobody is responsible for the deficit in today's sales. Okay. Lilituhin ko pa kayo lalo. Okay, how about this sentence? No one know or knows what the future holds. What's your name? Like, are you a new student? Okay, like, nice to meet you. So we have Marielle, Melissa, Mark, Noel, Laika, and Eunice. Okay. All right. So what's the correct answer, Eunice? All right. Knows. Singular verb. Okay. Nothing is or are left uncovered in this criminal case. Okay. Now, what I want you to do, since marami naman akong binigay na examples, I want you to choose two indefinite pronouns and make a sentence using these two indefinite pronouns. So you can choose from any of these words on the list. Somebody, anybody, nobody, everybody, someone, anyone, no one, everyone, something, anything, nothing, everything, and just make a sentence, a full sentence. So dalawa lang ang kailangan yung piliin. Go! Very basic lang yan, guys. Kaya kaya niyo. Like to share your session? Now that I know your names, I'm gonna call your names now. O, nagkamali kayong sinabi niyo yung name niyo sa akin. Alright, so we have Laika. Yes, Laika. Again, please. Among my friends. Okay, no one loves onion among my friends. Okay, that's correct. No one loves. Okay. Babaguhin natin yung rule. Wala nang gagamit ng knows, ng loves, tsaka likes. Okay? Pwede ba yun, guys? Marami pang mga verbs sa English list of words, so might as well make use of those verbs. Okay. How about Melissa? Can you try?
Everything that I have is good of my hard work.
Everything that I have is a fruit. Tama ba? Everything that I have is a fruit of my hard work. Okay. Acknowledged. Appreciated. Okay. All right. So how about you, Mark? Would you like to give it a try? Try niyo yung no one. Kinanta. Kinanta niya. O, sa mga nagbabalak mag-video key or mag-party bago yung exam, don't attempt to. Okay? May exhaust yung mga boses nyo. Kung nagkataon na may party at 1 week before your exam or a few days before your exam, pwede naman siguro wag munang kumanta sa video, okay? Or wag munang masyadong magpagod, okay? You might think that it's simple, but your physical condition will actually take a toll on you before the examination, on the examination day. Kaya prior to the examination, you have to make sure that you are physically conditioned. Get enough hours of sleep. Make sure that there's nothing hurting, like headache, severe headache, or toothache. Kasi affected talaga kayo pag meron kayong anything physically hurting, right? Actually, even if it's emotionally painful, nakaka-distract din yan, guys. So, make sure prior to the exam, huy, seryoso, may mga iba kasing tao na iba-iba yung emotional quotient nila. Right? So, let's say ako, I do have a strong emotional quotient. I can work, I can be highly efficient even though I'm going through something. Let's say right now I'm going through something. You can't really tell. How can you tell if I don't really show it or project it, right? Kasi ganun, I'm the type of person who has high emotional quotient. Pero there are people who are weak in that area. And that's why prior to the examination, a week before, you have to make sure na iwasan nyo munang makipagtalo or, you know, iwasan muna yung mga toxic people sa buhay. Alright, anyways, Mark, yes, your sentence. Kala mo na, kalimutan ko na.
I saw Mr. Nobody aware.
I saw Mr. Nobody a while ago. But you have to make me, show me that you use the correct verb form.
Singular or plural?
Nobody is, are, is or are?
Yes.
Nobody is, complete the sentence. Nobody is allowed. Nobody is allowed to enter the classroom using slippers. Tinignan bigla ako may nakachinelas. Sorry.
Nobody is allowed.
Nobody is perfect. Pwede rin naman, di ba? That's a very cliche term or word. Nobody is perfect. Ah, di ba? May narinig na ba kayong nagsabi, nobody are perfect? Wala pa, di ba? So, tandaan nyo rin yung mga common sentences or quotations na naririnig nyo kasi dun din kayo magbe-base. Nobody is perfect, di ba? Okay. So we're clear how to use the indefinite pronouns correctly. Am I right? However, when you're going to refer back to the indefinite pronoun, you have to use a plural pronoun. What do I mean by this? Pag sinabing refer back, tukuyin mo pabalik in Tagalog. Okay? Let's say, gagamit tayo ng everyone. Indefinite pronoun, everyone. Everyone is expected to attend the webinar. So, kung tutukuyin ko ay si everyone, ang gagamitin ko daw ay plural pronoun. They. Diba? They will learn a lot from it. So, ang indefinite pronoun natin ay everyone at ang plural pronoun natin ay they. Hindi pwedeng it. Kasi si everyone ay tao, hindi naman siya bagay, so hindi it. Okay? Hindi rin pwedeng she or he. Kasi everyone, although ang kaduktong niya ay singular verb, maraming tao to tinutukoy, not just one person. Okay? Pero pag ginamit natin yung somebody entered the room without. Thank you for finishing my sentence. Okay, somebody entered the room without permission. So, anong plural yung anong pronoun yung gagamitin natin to refer back to this? Nakakalito, right? Kasi hindi mo naman alam kung he or she. Somebody nga eh. Indefinite pronoun nga eh, di ba? Sige, i-ano natin. I-brainstorm natin to. Okay? Ang gusto kong iduktong ay they left a lot of footprints on the carpet. Is it correct or wrong? Mag-isipan niyo muna, hindi yes agad. Okay, it's wrong. Okay? Sa case na to, hindi mo naman pwedeng gamitin yung they. Kasi somebody eh. Diba? Even though the rule says use a plural pronoun to refer back to an indefinite pronoun, hindi naman siya applicable sa lahat. There's always an exception in the rules. Okay? So, somebody entered the room without permission. That person left a lot of footprints on the carpet. Okay? Huwag natin i-risk kung pwede mo naman gamitin yung correct format or correct structure. Okay. Um, anything could happen in a snap. These precautionary measures. Anything could happen in a snap. These precautionary measures should be followed. Anything? Still, we need to use plural pronoun these. Okay? Ay, grabe. Ba't kaya? Okay. Hmm. Okay. Let's move on to the next slide, guys. If you don't have any questions. Now, you can actually add apostrophe S to the indefinite pronoun to make it possessive. Somebody's. For example, again, when we say possessive, it expresses ownership, right? Again, you don't know whose cell phone it is, but it's somebody's cell phone. That's why we use the indefinite pronoun somebody. Somebody's cell phone is ringing. It's none of your business. It's nobody's business. Stop being nosy. Okay, get yan? Stop being nosy. Huwag kang pakialamera. It's none of your business. It's nobody's business. Just let that person deal with it, okay? Okay. Nagsisihan. There's no use in blaming others. It's nobody's, it's no one's fault. Okay, gets? How about okay. Baka malito kayo kasi possessive form tsaka contractions can be similar. Okay? Okay, let's say it's everyone's fault. Kasalanan ng lahat. Pero pag ginamit natin yung everyone's, everyone is. Pwedeng everyone is. Okay? Preparing for the party. Alin sa dalawang sentence ay nasa possessive form? Bakit? Explain mo, Melissa. Ha? O, di ba? Medyo... Okay, tama naman si Melissa. Yung first sentence ay yung may possessive form. Di ba? Everyone's fault. It's everyone's fault. Kasalanan ng lahat. Whose fault is it? It's everyone's fault. Yung pangalawang sentence, everyone's preparing for the party. Hindi to possessive. Contraction lang siya for everyone is. Contraction meaning ginawa mong shorter by adding apostrophe. And then, for example, is not, isn't, cannot, can't. Contractions yon, okay? All right. Okay, use indefinite pronouns with no as a subject in negative clauses, not pronouns with any. Okay, so this rule will be discussed more in our next slide. Kasi bawal yung dalawang negative sa isang sentence. For example, wait lang. Yan. Never use another negative in a clause with nobody, no one, or nothing. So, an example that I'm gonna give is let's see kung kaya niyong i-identify yung lapses or kung may lapses ba yung mga sentences na to, okay? Iisa lang yung correct sa tatlong sentences na to. Tukuyin natin kung alin. Which among these three sentences is the only correct one? Again, the rule is bawal yung dalawang negative words sa isang sentence. So first example, no one has nothing. Negative, yes or no? Negative, kasi no one. May word na no. Pag may no, pag may not, negative agad yon, okay? Nothing, negative, positive. Negative, nothing nga, wale, wale. Negative talaga yon, di ba? So, dalawang negative sa isang sentence. Tama, mali? Wrong. Kasi ang rule nga, bawal yung dalawang negative words sa isang sentence. How about this? Anyone has nothing. Negative si anyone kasi ang positive ng anyone ay someone. Okay? And yung word na any, negative din yan. So, again, dalawang negative sa isang sentence, mali. Eh bakit? Ay, teka lang guys. Bakit naging tama yung no one has anything? Kasi yung word na anything or anyone, versatile siya. Nakapagitna siya. Pwede siyang minsan negative, pwede siyang minsan positive. In this case, positive siya. And it's grammatically correct. No one has anything. Okay? Another example. Which one among these two sentences are correct? Is correct? Nothing has changed? Are you sure, guys? If you're sure, say yes and explain it. Explain pa talaga, ma'am? Isn't that your job? Okay, yeah, sure. All right. So, sino nag-agree na tama si Noel sa nothing has changed? Okay. Is it Claire? Is your name Claire? What is it again?
Mariela.
Mariela. Ang layo ng Claire sa akin. I was talking to someone named Claire last night. So, yun talaga yung nag-stick sa brain ko. Mariela. Okay, Mariela, nag-agree siya. Melissa, playing safe. Melissa, ano na? What's the right answer? I'm challenging you right now. Again, pwedeng negative si anything tas negative din tong si not. So, sabi ko sa inyo, versatile yung word na anything tsaka anyone, anybody. Pero in this case, we have to play safe. Doon tayo sa iisa lang yung negative. Nothing has changed. Talaga ba? Kahit isang taong kang nawala, nothing has changed. Uy! Bakit naman may hugot? Wala lang yun, guys. Okay, joke lang yun. Wala akong Alam niyo guys, pag may mga hugot-hugot sa klase, yung mga students nag-a-assume, may pinagdadaanan si sir. Seriously, wala. It's just to awaken you guys. Kasi parang mga tulog yung mga diwa natin I'm just kidding. Pero na-gets niyo ba na bawal yung dalawang negative? Okay. Use else after indefinite pronouns to refer to people or things in addition to the ones already mentioned. Okay. For example, the question is, what did mom cooked for dinner? Did mom, syempre British tayo ngayon, did mom cook, British tas biglang kaldereta. I don't even know if the spelling of caldereta is correct. Did mom cook caldereta for dinner? No, she didn't. She cooked something else. She cooked menudo. But you couldn't tell kasi magkalasa pala. Just kidding. Okay, did mom cook caldereta for dinner? No, she didn't. She cooked something else. Ayan, pwede mong gamitin yung else sa ganyang scenario. Or, sige, balik tayo dun sa hugot. Is Andrew still with Anna? No. He's dating someone else. In Tagalog, may iba na siya. So, let go. Let go. Move on. Yeah. 2026. New me. No, he's dating someone else. Okay? Ano pa bang examples? Oh, this one. Is this your umbrella? No, it isn't. Sige, duktungan nyo. It's... Is this your umbrella? No, it isn't. It's... Yeah, you got it. Mariela. Tama na ngayon yung Mariela, right? Okay. No, he's dating the gangsta. Ay, wali. Hindi niyo alam yung movie na yun. Anong generation ba to? Okay. More example sentences. We're done with that, right? Ang aga pa. Ay, 11 na pala. We started at 9:45, so 10:45. Okay, in 5 minutes, we're gonna have a break time. 5 minutes. Okay, let's talk about pronoun antecedent. Antecedent agreement. Use a pronoun to refer to a noun mentioned earlier in the text. This noun is called antecedent of the pronoun. So, kagaya lang to ng rule kanina, guys. However, if hindi nyo alam yung gender, huwag kayong mag-a-assume ng he or she kasi magiging gender bias tayo. We are now living in a gender-neutral society. So, huwag tayong maging bias porket nung lumang panahon, pag hindi mo alam yung gender ng tinutukoy, agad-agad ang gagamitin natin yung masculine, which is he, his, him. Ngayon, hindi na ganun yung rule. Okay? And if you want to have grammatical accuracy, much better to use neutral pronouns for that. So what am I talking about? Okay, let's say sa writing task nyo, we're pertaining to the students. So, imbis na the student is qualified for acceleration. So, he or she. Ganyan yung dapat. Pwede rin namang ganyan. Okay? But of course, yan yung ibig sabihin ng pronoun antecedent agreement, okay? So, singular kasi si student eh. So, ang gagamitin yung pronoun he or she. Huwag gagamitin yung he agad ha. Mali yan. Ngayon, the students should comply with the school rules and regulations. They. Yun yung antecedent agreement. Kasi, students, plural, they should be mandated to wear their uniforms 5 days a week. So that's what we call antecedent agreement. Okay. May mga words na pwede nating iwasan yung maging gender bias. Dati, kung tinatawag natin silang firemen or fireman, ngayon naman, yes, exactly. Kung dati, ang tawag natin sa flight attendant, air hostess. That's also feminine. So we can pertain to cabin crew. The word mankind has the word man in it, which makes it masculine. So you can say humanity. That's why vocabulary is very important in IELTS. Okay? Okay, we're gonna begin with articles after our short break. Tapos na tayo sa pronouns. Isang oras na yon, tapos pronouns pa lang, ano? Ganun siya ka-intricate. So anyways, let's have a 5-minute break. I badly need to get some water. 1 minute, 1 hour and 22 minutes para lang sa pronouns. Okay, na-discuss ko na tong part na to. Okay. Meron pa palang isa pang section sa pronouns na kailangan nating i-discuss. Yung paggamit ng one once. Important to ah. For example, kesa pa ulit-ulit mong sinasabi, the number of pupils, the number of students, the number of people. Okay? Pwede mong gamitin yung pronoun na one or once. For example, the commuters pay taxes through daily commute, daily transport. Para naman hindi repetitive, di ba? They are the ones who our country heavily rely on. Okay? Example lang yan para makita nyo na yung paggamit ng once to pertain to the commuters. Okay? They are the ones who our country heavily rely on. Pwede rin namang Sophia is the breadwinner in her family. She is the one who supports her siblings okay? Kesa paulit-ulit ng Sophia. Sophia supports her siblings' educational expenses. Ginamitan naman natin ng ibang format. Imagine kung sasabihin mo lang, Sophia supports her siblings' educational expenses. Isang word lang si Sophia. She is the one who. O, di ba? Ilan words na dagdag? Apat. Di ba? So, kapag talaga maalam ka sa iba't ibang ways on how to make your sentences more lengthy, you can really achieve 150 words, 250 words easily, right? Okay. Feeling ko last part na talaga to ng pronouns. Tapos meron pa pala, no? Okay. Yan, sure na talaga. Articles. We're gonna do a quick recap about the proper usage of articles. When we say articles, they are a, and the. Minsan ba nalilito din kayo? Ano kaya yung tamang paggamit ng a, an, or the? Malalaman na natin ngayon sa ilang sandali. Okay, so, I'm gonna give you some sentence samples. Do you really think there's a difference between these two sentences? If you think there is, what do you think is the difference? Sige, pag-isipan niyo muna. Get the apple from the basket. Get an apple from the basket. Yes, technically, the word the and an are different. Yun yung pinagkaiba. But there's also a difference in the meaning of these sentences. When we say get the apple, remember what I said last time? If ang kasunod na word ng the ay begins with a vowel sound, we say the, not the apple. The apple. The orange. Okay? Get the apple from the basket. Get an apple from the basket. So, yung article na the, it simply means there's a specific apple that you will get from the basket. Kasi isa na lang yung apple na nasa basket. Get the apple from the basket. We're in the same room. You can see the basket from far away, and I'm asking you to get the apple from the basket. Now, the meaning changes if you also change the article. When you say get an apple from the basket, it simply means there are several apples in the basket. I just need you to get one. To make it more specific, get the green apple from the basket. Okay? Get the green apple. Let's say the apple has different colors. Red, blue, just kidding. Green, red, or pag Fuji apple, pink. Ombre siya actually. It's an ombre combination of yellow and pink. Right? Yung Fuji apple. But we also have the Snow White apple. I don't really know what that apple is called, but you know what I mean. Yung pinaka-red na apple. And then we also have green apples, right? So, but I'm just asking you to get the green apple. So, meaning there's only one green apple from that basket. Now, if I use an, it means any apple. Wala akong tinutukoy na kahit na ano, just get me an apple. Pag tinanggal naman natin yung an at ginawa natin apples, get apples from the basket. Walang particular na number of apples, pero specifically, more than one, right? So, ilan tayo dito? We're 6 people here. Of course, you're gonna get 6 apples. You're not gonna get 5 kasi kawawa naman yung isa, diba? So, yun. Yun yung difference ng the, tsaka a, tsaka on. An. Alright? Of course, gagamitin nyo lang yung a, tsaka an. Pag isa lang yung tinutukoy nyo. Right? There's a book on the shelf. There's a cell phone on the table. Marami akong naririnig kapag sa speaking na, kapag coaching na, nagkakamali lagi sa a tsaka sa an. Kahit plural na yung noun, ginagamitan pa rin ng a tsaka an. Mali yun, alright? Don't do that. We only use these indefinite articles. Why? Because we're pertaining to singular nouns. So si at saka si an, they're called indefinite pronouns because wala kang alam, wala kang tinutukoy. But we use the because we're talking about this is the definite pronoun, article. Okay, let's talk about quantifiers. You can see here a list of quantifiers. All, any, enough, less, a lot of, lots of, more, most, no one, none of, and some. Ito yung mga quantifiers na pwede mong gamitin on count and uncount nouns. Pero itong quantifiers na to sa baba, pwede mo lang siyang gamitin sa count nouns. Okay, review ulit tayo. Ano ba ang count nouns at saka ano ba ang uncount nouns? Kasi ma'am, nakalimutan ko na. Okay lang yan. That's why I'm here, to remind you. Okay? So, simple lang yan. When we say count nouns, they are nouns pertaining to things, items that you can count. You can logically count. All right? So, books. Pencils. Tables. Oranges. Apples. Okay, you can count them. But when we say non-count nouns, they're usually in non or pwede ring un. They are usually in powder form or liquid form, such as water. Can you count water? No. You can only measure it. Okay? Oil, sugar. Basically anything you can see in your pantry or in your kitchen. Sugar, flour, salt, coffee, milk. What is it? Ano yun? I-share niyo naman. Kung trip mo naman yun sa life, why not? Hindi kita pipigilan. Okay, so yeah, so technically uncount nouns, you measure these. Pwede silang maging count if dadagdagan mo ng a glass of water, 2 glasses of water, 3 glasses of water. But if you're going to pertain to water itself, you can't say, can you get me a water? Mali yun, okay? Can you get me some water? All right. Could I have some water? Oh, sure. Okay. I will get you some water. Would you like cold water or boiling boiling water? Pinatay. Okay, so oil again. So how do we measure oil? A cup of oil. Or a teaspoon of oil. When you're making pancakes, you need to put some oil in the pancakes, right? Minsan nalilito pa ako sa shortcut kasi ng tablespoon ay TBSP. Tapos, ang shortcut ng teaspoon, TSB lang. It's confusing, right? What's tablespoon? What's teaspoon? Right? So, technically, half of a tablespoon is a teaspoon, right? So, yeah. Add a teaspoon of oil. Yon, pwede yon. Pero kung add a oil or an oil, mali talaga yon, right? Pero hindi niyo napapansin pag nag-speaking kayo, nalalagyan niyo ng at saka an yung mga non-count nouns, di ba? So this is a good reminder. But anyway, quantifiers always ask the question, how much or how many? All right, so etong mga to very versatile. See all, any, enough. All right? For example, I have a lot of stories to share to you. This dish has a lot of oil in it. So yung stories, countable noun yon. Count noun yon. Yung oil, uncount noun yon or non-count. But ginamitan ko siya ng same quantifier, a lot of. Kasi nga, versatile tong mga quantifiers na to. Pwede mo siyang gamitin sa both non-count and non-count tsaka count. Alright? So, could you add more coffee in my cup? Could you lessen the sugar? Less sugar, please. O, di ba? Kapag order kayo ng coffee, halatang-halata yung mga edad, di ba? Kasi mga trentahin dyan, very sugar conscious na.
No sugar.
Oo naman sa no sugar. Pero oo nga, dapat lang talaga.
Yeah.
There's another one on TikTok. I think the name of the brand is Equal. Parang sugar daw siya, pero very... Matamis siya, pero hindi siya sugar. Ha? Dahil tayo sugar, yeah.
Organic.
Okay, I get it. But we actually still need sugar in our body. Hindi naman kailangan walang-wala talaga, di ba? We need it. Okay. Some of the kids were injured during the earthquake. Some of the kids is count. Some of the salt was spoiled. Now, when it comes to these quantifiers, both, each, either, few, fewer, neither, and several, you have to only use it with count nouns. For example, both men were wearing black. Men in Black. Movie yun, diba? Okay. Each of the students were given an excuse letter. Were demanded some excuse letters. Either of the sisters were found guilty. Fewer stocks were purchased. Neither of the boys told the truth. Diba? Boys count now yan. Okay. No questions? Do you want to try to make sentences? Use one quantifier from the first list and use another quantifier from the second list and make a sentence for each. Just try it. So, walang ibang magpapa-virtual. May isang nag-chat sa akin, gusto daw niya magpa-virtual coaching. So, anybody from the group who wants to have? Nakapagpa-coaching ka kahapon, kasi
Ganun pa yung score.
Oh, same sa binigay ko. Sinabi mo ba sa kanya yung score na binigay ko sa'yo? Hindi.
Kasi nga, coach ako.
Ay, oo nga pala.
Kaya sa first time ha, yes pa.
So, same kami ng assessment. Okay. Yung iba dyan, bakit ayaw magpa-coaching? Kailangan mo rin bigyan yung sarili mo ng kahihiyan. Charot lang. Uy, joke lang. What I mean is, you need some space. You need some space para yung mga binigay namin na suggestions, ma-apply mo rin, 'di ba? So it means you need time to practice. Kasi paano ko makikita yung improvement kung one day lang yung paggitan, 'di ba? Uy, joke lang naman. Grabe. Okay, anyways, can you focus on your sentences, please? Napapanood niyo ba sa social media yung viral Dubai Chewy cookie? Parang siyang mochi. Tapos merong kanafi pistachio inside. Yung mochi niya chocolate. Sobrang mahal. But the thing is, it's viral.
Dubai chocolate na, sobrang
Did you try it? It's so good, right? Pero, nadja-justify naman yung price niya kasi nga sobrang sarap niya. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna pay for how much was that? Binigay lang kasi sa akin yun eh. So parang hindi ako nang hinayang. Pero na-justify niya yung lasa. At saka yung experience. Kasi ang ganda ng packaging. Kahit buksan mo pa lang yung package, maaamoy mo na yung chocolate, di ba?
Seafood ka ma.
No, but I like trying. Actually, yes. Dininay ko ba eh, no? I'm just controlling myself. Pero di ba, yung Dubai chocolate, oh my gosh. I want to try. Any of you who wants to give it a try? Feel ko si Melissa confident.
Wala po ano yun eh.
After nang sinabi mo, ma'am, confident pa siya. Joke lang.
Hindi nga po ako sure kung ano yun. Pero, I don't have enough sleep for this month.
Tama. Kasi sleep is uncount. You can't count sleep. You can only count like the hours, the minutes, but sleep itself is uncount. So, correct. Di ba? Bumawi naman ako sa pagpupuri ko sa'yo. Okay. How about you? My God, bakit hindi nagsistick sa akin yung name niya? Mariela, right? Okay, Mariela.
Several parents are part beside the building.
Okay, that's right as well. Yes, Laika.
Students are still answering the exam.
Most of the students. Okay, that's right.
Several Several have already left the bin.
Can you speak a little louder, please? Kasi medyo bingi ako.
Several have already left the bin.
Several what?
Have already left.
Several people have already left. Ah, okay, okay. Yes. And Mark, go ahead.
Or all of my salary. Ako,
All of my salary. Oh, tuloy mo. Magra-run ka na lang din. Buuin mo na.
That up. I gave all of my salary to my wife.
Mhm.
Then it's back.
Yung pagkakasabi niya ng, legit yun ma'am, may hugot eh, no? Parang may bigat. May bigat yung pinagdadaanan niya.
Dadaan mo may Facebook. Sa computer mo sa isa. Pagkakas 50%.
Really?
Nagbago na kasi lahat.
20% will work.
Isa, ito.
Hindi ko na 10%. They're making.
Nagbago ka?
10%. They're making yung mga last week sa company.
Okay, feel ko naman na-gets nyo naman tong quantifiers. And medyo madali lang din naman siya. Pero kailangan yung maging conscious kasi may mga time na malilito kayo sa paggamit ng either, neither. Yan, nakakalito yan eh. Tandaan nyo, sa count nouns lang siya pwede. Okay? A little, much, and a bit of, uncount nouns lang to pwede. Could you add a little sugar in my coffee? Would you like some sugar in your coffee? Not much. Bawal pagsamahin yung a little bit. Why? Redundancy, guys. Yung little tsaka bit, they mean the same thing.
Parang like narinig
Ganun kasi ang nature ng tao.
ng Pilipino.
Hindi. Ang nature ng tao talaga magkamali.
Parang matuto.
Ay,
Hindi, kasi parang naging common na siya pakinggan. But of course, as I said, even native speakers make a lot of grammar mistakes. Actually, mas magaling pa nga sa grammar yung mga Filipinos kaysa sa Americans. They just don't. Kaya ano, pag may nakausap kayong British, ang formal ng tone nila kasi they use grammatically correct structure. Unlike Americans, ano sila eh, very baroque American English yung alam nila talaga eh. Okay? Kaya minsan nakaka-appreciate ako, mas na-appreciate ko yung British English. Ang formal ng language, buo yung mga sentences nila, hindi sila gumagamit masyado ng contractions. Have you had your breakfast? Okay. So, we have singular quantifiers. Ayan, nalilito din kayo sa paggamit ng every tsaka each. Kasi commonly maririnig mo yan sa mga teachers sa school, ano? I can't stop thinking of you each and every day. Each and every day. Never use a determiner with every and each. Okay.
Yes.
Use a singular verb for nouns with either and neither. O sige. Since hindi pa natin to masyadong na-discuss, magbibigay ako ng example sentences. Each individual. Never put a determiner. So, bawal yung an each or the each. Right? Every student is entitled to their own projects in literature. Okay. Kung mapapansin nyo, plural or singular si noun? Kasi never pwedeng maging plural kapag gumamit kayo ng each tsaka every. Laging singular lang ang noun. Okay? Okay. How about either? Either of the boys wanted to join the camping trip. Neither. Neither of the boys wanted to join the camping trip. Ibig sabihin, wala sa kanila ang may gustong mag-join. Kaya dito. How about which flavor do you prefer? Chocolate or matcha? Either of the two. Kompletuhin natin yung sentence. Get me either of the two. Ibig sabihin, kahit alin. Neither kasi, none. Pag either, either of the two. Okay. So, verb tenses. I think we will only cover this section of the verb tenses, but as I said, ipo-plot natin yung grammar 3 lecture, which is those are the 12 different verb tenses sa grammar 3. So, I think baka, ano na bang date? Last week na ng January, right? So, let's say mga first, second week ng Feb. Ma-incorporate natin yung detailed lesson ng verb tenses. Doon talaga, you have to make a lot of sentences during the lecture. Kasi malilito talaga kayo if hindi nyo siya sasabayan. Okay? But anyways, when we use the simple present tense, it simply means you're pertaining to verbs na hindi mo kailangang baguhin yung spelling. Okay? Eat, run, sleep, arrive, start, simple present yun lahat. Because they're pertaining to general truths. For example, the cat loves milk. Pwedeng yung pusang inaalagaan mo, hindi siya mahilig sa milk. Pero it's a general truth that all cats love milk. Right? So, cats love milk. Simple present yon. It can also pertain to permanent situations such as the bus arrives at 8 a.m. Ibig sabihin, on a regular basis, the bus arrives at 8 a.m. Okay, not 8:15, not 8:10. It arrives at 8 sharp. Habits. I like jogging in the morning. The word like, it's a simple present. Ibig sabihin, you like it. It's habitual, all right? I smoke 10 cigarettes a day. Habit. Example lang yun. Ginadya naman agad. Yung mga tingin nila parang ginadya ko sa, I smoke 10 cigarettes per day. I don't smoke. I'm not a smoker, guys. Okay? Habits. I jog every morning. I exercise every afternoon. It's a habit. So you use the simple present tense. Pag naman simple, sa present progressive naman, magkaiba siya because it talks about temporary situations, unfinished actions, something new in contrast with previous state, changes in development. So when we say present progressive, nangyayari pa siya kasalukuyan pero hindi pa tapos. For example, I am studying IELTS. Kasalukuyan mo, pwedeng wala ka sa lecture room ngayon. Pwedeng nandun ka sa work. Pero pag sinabi mong, I'm studying IELTS right now, meaning, sinimulan mo yung review at kasalukuyan kang nagre-review kahit hindi pa naman tapos. Yun yung present progressive. So, magkaiba siya sa simple present. So, we will further discuss that on our next class kasi it's already 12 and I know you guys want to get your lunch break already. And I will be accommodating coaching. Kung sino man gustong maiwan, you may stay. And for those,
Question lang.
yeah, what is it?
Kung before yung Sunday po, meron po ba kayong na parang
Final coaching? Yeah.
for the techniques, for techniques and
Yung techniques kasi talagang maririnig mo siya all throughout the review eh. Okay? Pero final coaching, yes. Magpa-final coaching ka before you take your exam. Sa writing and sa...
from listening to speak.
Hindi.
Speak.
Speaking and writing. Nagpapasa ka ng last na writing output mo. Okay? Any other questions, guys?